Deadlock, one of the top 20 most played games on Steam as of right now during the time of this recording, which is pretty impressive since the game hasn't even came out yet and is still in early development. I know a lot of you guys have played the games or seen it, but stick around for those of you who are not new to this, because you might learn a thing or two, or you might find some of my bad gameplay hilarious. Oh, damn, bro. For those of you that are new to this game, I'm going to be straight up explaining to you the most simplified version of this game. Basically, dropping a knowledge bomb on you. The way I'll be talking about how the game works is basically I'll talk about the generic stuff that happens within the game, then I'll talk about the characters and how they function within the game, and then I'll talk about the events that happen within the game which could change the course of the match. As you could see from this footage, this video is not a tips and trips guide. This is not a how to get good at the game video. This is me basically explaining the basics of what this game is. I am not that good of a deadlock player, as you could say. So if you're looking for some tips and tricks or any guides, look somewhere else because this video won't stop you from dying a lot. Now that we got the basis of what this video is going to be about, it's time for the first lesson, which is to start this section off, there are two teams. One, which I don't know how to pronounce, is the Archmother. The other one is the Hidden King. For a reason too complicated for me to explain, these two extremely powerful beings want you to fight for them to stop the other one from getting summoned.
Throwing your lives away. I'll be ready. I like his metal handshake. Good times.
So this game is basically a 6v6 grudge match against each other in which you have to take what's theirs and protect what's yours. Oh, get on.
See McGinnis. Nice. Don't be a jerk.
There are three types of protections that stop you from getting to the main event, which are the patrons. There are the guardians, the walkers, and the base guardians. Let's start off with the first guardian. This guardian has laser attacks and a melee attack and is weakened whenever a trooper is nearby. This is the first objective of the game, and if you ever defeat it, it'll stop the enemy from being able to use the curiosity shop within their lane. I will talk about items and the curiosity shop later. For right now, let's get to the second guardian, which is the walker. While the walker still has the same laser attack as the guardian, it replaces the melee attack with a slam attack that could stun you and leave you vulnerable. The walker is the second objective to this game and one of the most important guardians that you need to defeat. The reason it is so important is because it frees up an item slot which is needed to become more powerful within the game. The base guardian is the same as the normal guardian, except it's more powerful and it defends the inner sanctum of the patrons. Now that the protection has been covered, let's talk about the patrons. Within the area, there are two shrines that you would need to destroy in order to do damage to the actual patron. The patron has two phases. The first one he does a laser attack, and the second one he does an area of effect which can curse anybody, preventing them from being able to do any sort of
Alright,
damage.
GG's, bruh. We won.
Now that we've pretty much covered everything, it's time to cover the items and the curiosity shop. The curiosity shop is an area within the game where you can buy items from. These items are separated into three categories: weapon, vitality, and spirit. Weapon upgrades increases the amount of damage your main weapon, your melee weapon, or weapon-based abilities do. Vitality upgrades increases the amount of damage you could take and how effectively you heal. Spirit upgrades increases the amount of damage most abilities do and the effectiveness of those abilities. I think that about covers the general stuff. And for those of you who think I forgot the three specific mechanics, I'll be getting to those in the events category. But for now, it's time for the. Since there are a lot of characters in this game, I'm going to be putting them into four categories. The categories are attack, support, hybrid, and gimmick. These categories do not limit the character by any means. It's just the best way I could describe the characters and how they work. Attack characters like Venator, Bebop, and the Lash are mostly out in the front lines trying to dominate the battlefield. They'll do whatever it takes to take as many lives as they can. Their main goal is to push through any defenses. Support characters like Paige, Viscus, and Ivy are mostly there to provide help and health to those that need it on the battlefield. They will also provide leverage so that they could win the fight. Alright, I got this. Or, I don't got this. But support. Rick. Hybrid characters like Rem, McGinnis, and Kelvin are also known as combat medics. They deal a great amount of damage while also providing support to their team by healing them or changing the battlefield. To be considered a hybrid, you must be able to deal a great amount of damage while also dealing support as much as you can. This doesn't mean that they're still locked in that role. Yes, got him. Let's go. Gimmick characters like Victor, Doorman, and Viper are hard to explain since they could fit into any role. They usually have an ability that changes the way an enemy approaches them, like Sinclair with his ults or the Doorman with his hotel.
It takes more than that to kill me.
Yeah, you thought. Remember, these characters are not attached to these categories. They can fit into any role they want. I just use these categories to best identify which role I think they would best fit in. That being said, I think we are down to our final main point, which is before I cover the events, I'm going to cover the power ups real quick because I forgot to cover them earlier. Power-ups can spawn on each side of the map, and if you melee them, it'll grant you a different type of buff. There are 4 types of buffs. There is a casting buff which gives temporary cooldown reduction and spirit power. There is a gun buff which gives you more fire rate and ammo. There is a movement buff which gives you extra stamina and sprint speed. And there is a survival buff which gives temporary health and health regen. Buffs are temporary and will only last about 2 minutes. Now that we've finished with the power-ups, let's talk about the main events. There are 3 events that spawn within the game. The Soul Urn, the Mid-Boss, and the most recent, the Unstable Rift. All of these events start out after 10 minutes of the match have went by, except for the Mid-Boss which was changed to spawn at the beginning of the match. The Soul Urn works by taking it from one side to the other, in which you gain a small amount of permanent buffs and a lot of souls for you and your teammates. You could steal the Soul Urn for yourself by meleeing other people and grabbing it. The Unstable Rip works differently than the Soul Urn. Basically, it's a King of the Hill type event. You will get a message on top of your screen saying when it will start. At this point, you should gather your teammates and prepare for a fight at the Unstable Rift. You will have 2 to 3 minutes to capture the area in which the enemy team is also trying to capture it. The reward that you get from this area is a lot of souls for your team and some more powerful troopers.
No, dude.
I don't have footage of mid-boss, but what it basically is a guardian with a damage test on it, in which you have to do more damage than it heals itself. When you defeat it, you get a rejuvenator which revives your teammates 3 times, and you get a small amount of souls. And this was an introductory to Deadlock. If you guys liked the video, please hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.